Good evening, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome to stream. Happy Good Friday for those who celebrate. It is lovely to have you here, Josh. And it's also lovely to have you here, any lurkers, be they in on Twitch, on YouTube, or I suppose in the VODs. Can you really lurk in VODs? It never occurred to me, but I guess you can. Hello, VOD lurkers, I guess. Anyway, how's everybody doing? I'm doing pretty okay. I was doing not super great on Tuesday. Not like depressed or anything, just tired. But I'm doing okay today. It helps that I've had the day off. And it helps that I'm going to play a game that I very much enjoy. Last time, we explored the Grave Horde, and that was quite something. But today, we're going to shut down the Eclipse network so that we can at least try to fight them. Yeah, I know the feel, Josh. I hope you get to rest a little bit. Yeah, I hope you get to rest. I hope you stop being a tire soon. Yo, that's so cool. I never noticed those box kites. Anyway. Silence gave us a location to visit. We're not sure what's there, but let's check it out. Oh! audio is probably doubling up. I just realized. That does seem to be more noticeable on YouTube than Twitch, but I did just want to fix it quickly. One thing I do appreciate about this game is, like, yeah, red grass is your primary form of stealth. But, like, breaking line of sight is sufficient. And is often your best option. Between streams, by the way, I did the last Corrupted Zone. It wasn't a super exciting one, so not much missed.
Can't be too prepared.
What's around here killing watchers for me? That's my job.
I'll tuck that away.
Just refilling my medicine pouch on the way. That feels better. I've also been enjoying Xenoblade X still. God, Overdrive is my favorite completely busted mechanic in any JRPG, and it is completely busted. The fact that I can, in any capacity, by any means, take on a level 92 enemy when I'm in the low 40s, as long as I've got the right setup, that is completely broken, and I adore it. This is interesting. This isn't just a campfire, this is like a whole... It's like a hunting blind, maybe. Or, ooh! Yeah, certainly something. Nice, I'm gonna rob them. Of $2. Yeah, so just... Do I follow the river? I guess so. No, I don't. Ah, there's some climbing ropes. Oh, also I've been playing Blueprints. And boy, that game makes me feel dumb in a way the best puzzle games always do. Man, this has to be incredibly slippery. There we go. Man, climbing all this way without any kind of gear, kind of crazy. There we go. Are these good guys or bad guys? These are not guys, apparently. Which I think makes them good guys. Man. Am I going the right way? I'm not. Okay, neat. I'm hearing explosions. No, okay, I'm hearing charger. That's fine.
I can get out of this.
Ah. Bingus. I thought the being on fire would be way more effective at killing you. Let's hit the campfire before we go to the objective. Yeah, Josh. Blueprints is... I think it's one of the cleverest puzzle games I've ever played. Let me be clear about that. One thing is, like Obra Dinn, very early on, gives you a pretty easy win, which is great for building your confidence that you actually understand the systems. Blueprints, you've got to understand, is going to be a commitment. Because on top of being a puzzle game, it's kind of a roguelike, which is a wild thing to be able to say. But it's true, and as a result of that, like, as with a roguelike, you've got to accept that sometimes you're just not going to make any progress. Which can be a bit frustrating, but the whole process is very interesting. There's already once, though, if you ever play it, because it is fantastic. If you ever play it, genuinely take notes. Because already I found the code to a safe and didn't write it down and came across that safe like two runs later, and I couldn't remember it. I might like the Rattler. Oh, I can't get one. That's fine then. But like I said, I'm enjoying it. I am glad that I'm playing it, and it's the kind of game that's probably best if you come back to it for like half an hour a day.
Crash the Eclipse first. So how are we gonna do
Hello, Sabs.
it? Oh wait, I forgot. We won't. I do all the dangerous stuff. You just listen in.
Thank you for the We were discussing how Blueprints is good, but the RNG can get a bit frustrating.
They're the handholds, where we said they'd be. Did you get that, Silence? No? Fitting name you got there.
Okay, so she acknowledges that people's names... People are named after, like, things. And yet doesn't notice that her name is essentially Alloy.
Take a seat at the campfire and rest. When night falls, we'll talk.
Yeah, Blueprints.
I still have a fire to keep me company. How nice of you to finally drop by.
Our purpose this night is to crash the Focus network.
Yeah, tell me the part I don't know.
What's the context?
For starters, you'll need to infiltrate the Eclipse's main base.
Wait, what?
That's right. Fortunately for you, I brought you round to the back way. It's right through that crevice. Once you reach the base, you'll see the objective. A derelict tall neck that's been extensively modified. Climb the tall neck. Graft it into the top of the disk
okay.
and find a module of sorts. Destroy
That makes more sense, Tron.
The Focus network will crash.
So you were part of the Eclipse.
I've never been part of anything. I serve my own interests, always.
So the tall neck is being used as a transmitter.
It is the case that I assisted the Eclipse before I sensed the threat they might become. It was a mistake that I'm doing what I can to correct.
Yeah, punch that
What
hologram.
did you give them?
Head through that crevice, Aloy. You have more important things to do than ask questions.
I mean, he's not wrong, but he could be less of a dick about it.
Let's see what's through here. Corrupted machines. Patrolling guards.
More like soldiers. Held in reserve for a war yet to come. You'll have to get past them.
Easy way in.
The back way in. I didn't say it'd be easy.
Handholds. Okay, that makes more sense.
Sharp, Aloy. Here we go again.
Yeah, Sabs. Don't you know Aloy's incredibly lewd? Gonna take this a little bit slowly. Man, there's a lot of explosions happening. Man, getting up there would be nice. Gotta be careful here. And most of these I have no reason to kill. I would if I could do it in one hit. That's fun, Trom. Oh, please tell me this isn't the wrong way. Oh, no, there's the handholds. Weird, I remember having a lot of trouble with that section.
So cute.
Also you, Meaty. Heck.
Explosions in the distance.
Pay that no mind. Doesn't concern you.
Kind of does, though. Like, explosions concern me a little bit, at least. Do I have any skill points? Yo, I've got 4 skill points. What the hecky? Now, these I am willing to try to kill. For the simple reason that I believe I can do it in one hit. The long legs I know for a fact I can't. Oh, Aloy, you might want to hide a little bit better. Whoa! Okay, no, that's another scrapper. Looked like there was something else there.
close now. Head for that ridge.
I think this was actually where I was meant to start in this area, but whatever. I keep forgetting I can do that. I'm still going to be cautious, though. Wow, he heard me from all the way over there. Impressive.
Tallneck's just over this ridge. You'll see it when you reach the top. Now be ready to act fast. You need to get in and get it done before they raise an alarm. Here we go.
I want me some glory hole.
Man, same, Trom.
You getting this? I see the legs of a Tallneck down there, but no Tallneck.
Damn. The transmitter's been moved. Check down the ravine to the left. Only place it could be.
So much for your insider knowledge. Toward the explosions. Great.
You got exactly one shot at this, Aloy, so spare the sarcasm and make it count. You see that bridge over the ravine?
Yep.
Memorize its location. There's a rappel point on the side. That'll be your way out.
And these Eclipse troopers?
Avoid them or kill them, your choice. The blasting should cover any noise you make. Find the Tallneck and destroy the module on top.
Here we go.
Can't think. We walk in the sun all day to serve the shadow.
You can see them. They can't see.
By the sun!
You know what, Aloy? Unnecessary, but cool. I'll give you a pass. Can I see those dudes? Doesn't look like it. Ooh, they're... ceremonial armor? Huh. So wait, there's a couple of dudes around here who I'm just not seeing. Damn it. Just missed the timing on that one. hello, Paula. Thank you for the Also, Meaty, thank you for the aioli. I did not even see you, buddy. Am I louder than usual? I can drop my mic volume.
That shelter. It's bigger than the others.
Find the tall neck, Aloy. There's no time to poke around.
There is if I make time.
Or even sun.
There was an update to my streaming software today, so it's possible that something's gone a bit funky. Give me a second to check my mic. I'll pull down the volume just a couple of decibels. As long as that's still audible, I don't mind putting it there. Because, yeah, I do see it that it's clipping at 0. A little bit. Yeah, Sabs, that's exactly who I meant to talk about. There we go. He's an elite, which might be an issue.
Leave it to Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan. I can always trust you. Okay. Did I need 3 arrows? Maybe not.
No. It's a mining operation. So long as you're quick, it won't affect you.
Oh good, another secret.
Yeah, Silence. It would help if you would just tell me what's going on. Okay, I've already got all the health potions. That's fine.
What is this place?
A distraction.
There are several data points.
Ceremonial armor. Dyed plumage and lacquered metal plates of unknown origin. Dimensions suggest wearer of large build, who I suspect I'm going to have to fight. I suspect that is not going to be fun. Oh, come on.
So long as King Itamen languishes at sunfall, coddled by his mother, he will never learn the true lessons of the sun. I have tried to instruct him, but the shadow of his mother's influence is upon him. I took him to the palace balcony to behold an offering of sacrifice in the ring, but he showed no thirst for it. He averted his gaze. Look to the sun, I told him. Do not shield your eyes. In all things, it is absolute. One day, it nurtures life, and the next, scorches life away. It burns the skin of champions and wretches alike. Never does the sun show pity. That is the example a Sun King must follow. The example of your father. But before my instruction could take hold, she was there, clutching him to her robes, burying his face against her breast. How is a king to rule when he cannot even see?
I mean, by the sounds of it, he's an actual literal child, so maybe don't be a dick about it.
Alert. Irregular transmission source detected.
Ah. Source of encrypted modulated signal, high volume of incoming and outgoing data traffic. Okay, so that's definitely the... Oh, there's a bunch of these.
When sleep refuses to come, I think of our wedding night. How you welcomed me to the marital bed. How after, when you fell asleep, I lay there watching your delicate face. For all its beauty, I detested its fragility.
This Helis dude has some bad ideas.
Swelled up inside me. I abhorred that bed. How its softness threatened to swallow us up. And that room, the stench of incense, the fine embroidery of the drapes, all of it weak. I slipped from the bed, threw open the casement, and lay naked on the stone floor, determined to spurn all seductions of comfort.
Oh, God, you're so cool.
When I woke the next morning, you lay beside me, naked as I in the cold. Your body, stretched beside mine, seemed chiseled from stone. I saw you wake, instantly alert, like an animal ready to strike. You said nothing. You did not have to. Already you had shown me beyond doubt that we were meant to be.
God, what a douche.
Never does the sun show pity. And yet, when my wife died in birthing, and in dying ended the life of my child unborn, I pitied myself. My lord sensed this, but instead of casting me down for weakness, he cast upon me a radiant beam of honor. He ordered my kin buried in the sacred caves reserved for royals and heroes. Unimaginable. Never again would I doubt that I am the chosen of the sun. Never again would pity find a place in me. Not for myself or another.
Yeah, you suck, buddy. I hope you know that.
When I first set eyes on the buried shadow, I trembled. Was I not the chosen of the sun? A blazing light of faith to shred and scatter darkness? Was it not my place to destroy this devil? But High Priest Bahavas instructed me in the prophecy, and set right my frame of mind. The murder of the true Sun King broke the cosmic cycle short of completion. The whole world cast into darkness, doomed. To resume and turn the wheel of time would require more than sun and faith. All forces must combine, all halves of nature join to one cause. Shadow to sun, night to day. Even a buried shadow wants the wheel to turn, for without a sun in the sky, there can be no shadow. My lord, the 13th king of the Karja Sundom was murdered. Cut down by cowards who mistook firm rule for madness. Ever the strong are beset upon by the weak. So he said, as the traitors launched their assault, as their cannons forged by Oseram filth toppled the battlements and burst the gates. I would have fought to the end. But it was his will, the will of the sun, that I lead the prince and queen into the west, to safety. My lord did not hesitate. He saw his fate. He looked into the sun, and he did not blink.
That's gonna give you retinal damage.
With me, he sent kestrels, nobles, sun priests, and slaves. Killing all that stood in the way, I carved a path to sunfall. There, we joined others to gather the strength to take back our home. But our strength only faded until the buried shadow was brought to light.
So, that is not 100% clear without, like, the context. So, What happened is this guy served the previous Sun King, the quote-unquote Mad Sun King, who raided everybody else for sacrifices. When that king was overthrown, he sent this guy away with a bunch of the kind of priests and high-ups, as well as his wife and son. At some point, he kind of considered himself to be some sort of chosen hero to retake the Sundom and bring it back to its former glory. And they discovered the quote-unquote buried shadow, which is these corruptors, and they plan to use those and the Deathbringers to take back Meridian. Because they don't like the current Sun King, even though I think he's a cutie pie. Leaning trunk, weak anchorage. Can do. Very Breath of the Wild.
That all right. Single-minded.
It gives him a focus that you seem to lack. Now how about finding that tall neck?
It would not have been easy to drag the tall neck down this path. Why bother?
Just find it and get to the top. Destroy the module and then get out fast as you can.
Sure is a lot of blasting up there. Sounds busy.
Fuck, you're right, meaty.
Not to notice you, let's hope.
Yeah, Josh. I'm smelling full red cap regalia at this point. Yeah. So what's happening around here?
I see it. They've built some kind of structure around it.
Climb it. The sooner this is done, the better.
I don't like this. Feels wrong.
Everything here is wrong. Just get to the module and destroy it.
Whoa. I just noticed the tentacles. They're excavating a Horus unit, a metal devil.
Good. Now be quick.
This is Hades?
Aloy, this is not the time.
It's a metal devil.
Open the module's casing, now. Aloy, do as I say or all is lost.
Oh!
Entity has come here. Entity miscalculated. Entity cannot destroy me. I am beyond its reach.
Maybe you are. But this isn't!
Yeah, stab it with the stick.
Destroy the entity.
Oh!
Keep moving.
Are you kidding me?
Keep moving.
Yeah, you think? What do you think I'm doing? Taking a nap?
What? Where do I go? I go down? Oh, okay. I go down and across.
Great trail.
Ugh.
Almost there. Come on.
Don't fight. Keep moving.
me?
Head left towards the camp.
Got it. Almost out of it.
The whole base is on high alert.
Damn!
Yeah, I noticed.
Keep moving or you'll die. Watch out, there's more ahead.
Bridge in sight.
That's the way out.
I know.
I do enjoy that escape sequence. Oh! I don't actually think the river there would do much to save your life. I think maybe Aloy is dead no matter what happens. Still, we brought down the network in, spectacular fashion. And we got our first glimpse of Hades. The something that is out to get us.
Rough going, but you survived.
You knew Hades was there and you sent me to him?
I won't deny I risked your life, but it was the only way. Now, with the focus network down, we can both get what we want. Access to the secrets of Zero Dawn.
I'm past trusting you with secrets.
Good. That means you're wising up. Trust is for fools. It shifts and crumbles like sand. A poor foundation for any partnership. But mutual self-interest. Now that is a solid bedrock upon which you and I might build a new science of understanding. We both need answers, Aloy. And thanks to you, we're on the verge of grasping them. At Sunfall, we'll speak again.
Now, Sunfall is a dangerous place.
Damn him. If I could toss this focus and be rid of you, Silence, I would. But we both know I need it. Sunfall it is. And Zero Dawn.
Josh, I imagine it's some kind of, shenanigans. Ooh, 3 skill points again. Extra strong strike. Now, Sunfall, if I remember. Yeah, it's in this area we were exploring before. Where I found that tall neck at the end of last stream. Man, I actually didn't realize it was this close to Maker's End. Boy, oh boy, I guess we're doing this. Meaty, I wish there were an extra strike plus.
Got too much already.
Oh yeah, there were 2 Ravagers there. Or 3 Ravagers? I don't know. Too many Ravagers. Oh Lord. Oh, there's a rock breaker there? Lord. This area is just infested with scary machines. I know I could just ride that dude. But I like doing things the slow way. I don't, actually. Ooh. Chat, do you all see that marking up there on the mountain? That is an indication of a Banuk figure. And they're quite cool. Now, those good guys or bad guys? I suspect those are bad guys. No, they appear to just be dudes. While I'm here, I might quickly try to go for that Banuk figure. It's over there. Hello, Desert Raccoon. Chat, I've never seen a Desert Raccoon. Are Desert Raccoons real things? Also, at least some of the Banuk markings are very explicitly Zelda references, and I think that's the most explicit of them. I want to get... Let's say you get down.
Easy.
How do you get up? Carry on, Sabs. You've got my attention. What do they do when they discover that this door is barred shut? Surely that's a disaster and the end of their attempts to open the door. Ooh. Man, Saps, that's a good joke. There are desert raccoons. Interesting. You see, that seems to be the end of the search, not the beginning of it. Or I'm wrong. Maybe that is... Ah, there. The Banuk markings really make it easy to find these figures, but sometimes finding the best figures, the markings, can be more difficult than it seems. Oh, by the way, you can see Sunfall there. That's so cool. And you can see the Great Ring there, which I suspect used to be a big old satellite dish. It's a Link Between Worlds reference, chat. Man, I should stream any Zelda ever. I like Zelda games. I don't know why. That slowdown Aloy does just never has any impact. I'm shocked that the Oracle games have not been the subject of, like, the next remake. Because I feel like they could even reuse the Link's Awakening engine without any difficulty. I mean, Sabs, that is the one that should be called Link to the Past, but slight issue with that is that Link to the Past already existed. Yeah, I don't think Capcom knows that people want to play Link to the Past. Not Link to the Past, the Oracle's games. Oops, wrong button. Which I do frequently. This isn't even faster, but... another link to another past. Guys, you thought we linked to the past before? We didn't even get started.
Sunfall. The Mad King Duran's summer palace. A bulwark of Carja might against the howling Forbidden West.
Hey, they said the thing.
But they have no idea what lies beneath. We will learn much from this Aloy.
That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, Sabs, that's always the problem. They'll charge $90 for each of them, but you have to buy both of them. Quest? I remember this being a fairly quick quest, but I've been wrong before. Oh, she doesn't look healthy.
She's very pale. Is she unwell?
Yes. She's a fighter, but the fever on her won't lift. It only burns hotter. Her name is Shiana, my sister.
Isn't there anyone in Sunfall who can help?
We're refugees. We know our place. And there's only one healer in the territory. He's... difficult. His soul is in shadow.
His soul is in shadow.
Galiv. That's him. He's very clever, but he has little care for people. Perhaps the desert scoured it all away. Perhaps he was always like that. Either way, I know he won't help us.
Well, I'll see about that. Where would I find him?
Last I heard, he was patching up soldiers at Blazon Arch. Another border battle.
Yeah, I'm not going to focus on that for now. Oh, chat, it's terrible. I tried to clean my glasses and I made them worse. All glasses wearers know the pain. Oh, it's getting worse. Sure. While I'm doing this, I might as well take a stretch and a quick drink. I just use wet wipes, and they work pretty well. There we go. I can almost see out of those now. So it's worth noting, the Eclipse are a cult within the Shadow Carja. So it's not like everybody here is ready to kill me on sight.
Delivered my rations today. Buy what you need, leave the rest. You'll like what I have for sale, I promise.
Okay. First, what about what I have for sale? I'm surprised. I thought this would actually be just for selling. Hell yeah, chia pets.
We don't act soon.
Take a look at these wares.
Strong enough to...
And there's the arena.
The Sun Ring, a proud tradition of the Carja.
It's not a place in Meridian. At least, I don't know.
Give them time. I'm sure they'll use it.
Wait, is that... Man! Health and safety is not going to be happy about those spikes. Who designed that? For what purpose? I mean, I guess to look scary.
What are you talking about? Did I crash the network or not?
These are.
It's success. Welcome to the Citadel, Aloy. I'll check back with you in a moment. In the meantime, circulate.
They're not waiting to come home.
By the sun, the exile has been hard on the old-timer.
Outlanders, if you want to hear about today's bounties, head for the throne room. You're not going to make any shards by standing out here.
I'm an Outlander.
I'll take the shard, even if it means having to listen to Bahavas.
I hear the Shadow Carja are looking for one of their own. Should pay well.
You're among the faithful. Show some respect.
Man, it's a good opportunity to blend in, genuinely. It's a cool idea.
By the glory of the sun revealed. Behold, radiant Edaman, the one true Sun King, the light in shadow, whose will is light and whose light is law.
But him only baby.
I command Lucius Bahavas to speak in my behalf.
By the will of radiant Edaman does the sun glare down mercilessly upon the traitor Uthid. To the hunter who brings his head to us shall go a bounty of 500 shards.
More prisoners than royalty, don't you think? Love your hair. You and I need to chat, little huntress. The green tent down in Shadowside. I'll be waiting.
Kind of busy.
We both know you're no killer for hire. Uthid is innocent. So come see me while there's still time to save him.
You know what, Josh? Not the first lesbian.
The way in I spoke of is right behind you.
You've got to be kidding.
Not at all. And you needn't worry about the Kestrels. They'll be too busy acting important to pay attention to you.
First time in the Citadel, gotta see the sun ring from on high.
Uthid, a well-liked Shadow Carja officer, has been marked for death by High Priest Bahavas. There must be more to this than meets the eye. I mean, there mustn't. There can be, but you can't say there must be. This is the first one to start the flirting. But before the proving, she also met the other lesbian.
Kestrels. Ah, they want us to see this, boy. It makes quite an impression.
This is insane.
Hardly.
They're going to see me.
You underestimate the ease of hiding in plain sight.
What? Oh. Where do I climb down?
If you're gonna watch some slaughter, this is the place to do it.
I don't like heights.
You worry me, boy. Another manhunt. How many men and women can...
A little bit, Josh.
Odin, leader of Odin's marvels. You've a fresh face. When you're less an eye or an ear or two, you'll fit right in. First impressions make the sale, except in this snake pit. They'll take whoever shows up.
The balustrade. It's a short drop from there.
Silence, I'm having a conversation.
This isn't your first job for the Shadow Karja?
Scared of their own shadows, Karja, more like. They spit on me, but the shards are good. Look at those nobles. I say noble, but you can't dress a rat in silk and call it a rat king, can you?
You can, and I would love to see that.
Sunfall is a house of clay. If you were to stamp your foot,
I've grown old and infirmed. I'm ancient now. I'm different. I'm older. I'm peaceful. I'm an old hag, Steve. I just give up. I'm an old backpack vendor. I give gifts.
Thank you, Tron.
Shouldn't you all be setting out to hunt Uthid?
Have you never done this before? Whoever goes first just leads the others. Just take a load off and avail yourself of some Karja booze until someone sniffs out the trail. Then watch us seek out our prey, straight as a ravager's shot. Zip!
Are you sure you're going to be able to walk in a straight line?
What are you getting at?
I'm going to cut your hamstrings. I mean, she's probably talking about being drunk, but also that.
Do you think Uthid did what they're accusing him of?
I hope so. It'll make him more dangerous. My advice, it's best not to overthink such things.
Overthink whether he's guilty or innocent?
You let all these thoughts in your head, you'll never make it as a mercenary. Only thing that matters is dead or alive. If they say alive, bring a rag to stuff in its mouth. But these days, no one wants alive.
It doesn't seem great, actually.
Farewell, Odin.
Good hunting. If I should have cause to kill you, you won't suffer.
Oh, thanks.
Okay. I don't know where to drop down.
You do what you came here to do. Understood?
Oh, here, maybe. There we go. Trum, you bring great wisdom. Oh, this is so cool. Like, that wouldn't actually work. You would immediately die. But it looked cool.
The other side of the tower. Look for a vent.
How do you know all this, my man?
I see you've been here before.
Obviously. Now, it's very important that you hear what I'm about to say. I've shown you the way in, but this humble vent marks a point of no return. Before you descend into the depths here, you should be fully committed, equipped, and focused. No distractions. If you have errands to run, do them first or hold your peace. I won't tolerate whining. Is that clear?
You'll tolerate what I give you, Silence. I didn't ask you along for the ride.
To be clear, this is not like the end game point of no return, even though it feels like it from what they're saying. They're just saying this is going to be a while.
I'm heading down.
And there's no...
I've spent a lifetime trying to uncover the secrets of this world.
There's no fast traveling
Where
out.
the machines came from. How the old ones achieved such marvels only to fall into silence and death. A lifetime of failure. As year by year, decade after decade, I hit walls I could not break, doors I could never breach.
Hello.
Until a Nora huntress marched out of the savage east. And voila, for her, all the deepest secrets of the earth were laid bare. I suspect you will have an easier time with this door than I did years ago.
Hold for identiscan. Genetic profile confirmed. Entry authorized. Malfunction. 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 Malfunction.
Are you kidding me?
You don't hear me laughing.
Shut up. There's gotta be another way. Hey! Elizabeth Sobeck here! Requesting access!
Access request acknowledged. Root command functions available. Do you wish to proceed?
I do! Get me through this door!
Analyzing. Primary access inoperable due to mechanical failure. Emergency venting procedure likely to circumvent blockage. Do you wish to proceed?
Yes.
Emergency venting authorized.
I underestimated you. So by now,
Guess you can't have everything.
that will draw attention. We won't have this place to ourselves for long now.
We? Last I checked, I was the one risking my life down here.
Yes, fine. Now will you please get moving? There's so much to learn in less time than I'd hoped.
If I remember, this is one of the very, very cool kind of story moments.
Welcome to Project Zero Dawn.
Zero Dawn. We found it.
Are you really so surprised?
Facility diagnostics detect multiple failures. Attempting repair.
Yeah, including the fact that you have got a stuffy nose.
Room?
An entrance hall, perhaps. Have a look around.
From launch staff to admin subject, another incident. This morning's unfortunate incident with Dr. Popovich is another example of reception's need for additional support. We appreciate that Zero Dawn is an immensely complicated project, but as the staff who serve on the front line, we're tired of being neglected. As we have already requested, we need human translators fluent in Polish, for example, security staff who can subdue enraged embryologists, for example, and dermal sedatives to calm persons who are screaming in Polish while hurling chairs and vases at reception staff, for example. Yes, most of the candidates are reasonably calm and well behaved, but we need help handling the exceptions to that rule. Please respond. Angry Polish embryologists, am I right? Such a common trope. From reception staff to admin, subject we need support to. Reception staff continues to require additional support managing ZD candidates. I hate that I said that, ZD candidates, when they arrive at the facility. Many are frightened or confused. Some are highly agitated. These are not the sort of persons who are accustomed to having information withheld from them. At minimum, we need human translators. The Langbots are not sufficient, and mild sedatives for the extreme cases. Any and all support would be welcome. Perhaps you could start by responding to one of these mails?
Please take a seat and wait for your name to be called. A selection of beverages and snacks are available.
A smaller room.
From launch staff to admin, subject soundproofing. Would it be possible to improve the soundproofing between VR1 and the lounge area? Most of the candidates stay quiet during the presentation, but the ones who scream or sob can be plainly heard by candidates waiting their turn in the lounge. Just a thought.
Please proceed into viewing room 1 for an important message regarding the purpose of your visit.
I'm guessing the purpose is not sunshine and rainbows if it made people cry. From lounge staff to admin. Subject, restock or else. For the 5th time, please restock the lounge's selection of herbal teas. If I have to listen to one more egghead throw a tantrum because we're out of the organic cucumber, mint, or blackberry sage varietals, I'm going to lose it. Please respond, and this time no tempest in a teapot or steep demands jokes. Okay? I don't know, I think those jokes are pretty good. To be fair, Trom, this is being funded by the richest person in the world. The first trillionaire, apparently.
What was this place?
A holographic theater.
CD01 data intact. Initiating playback.
Welcome to Project Zero Dawn. I am General Harris, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff of the United States of America. I'm sure you've heard the rumors that Zero Dawn is a top-secret superweapons program, the technological miracle that will save us from the Pharaoh Plague, if Operation Enduring Victory can hold off the robots long enough. The reason I'm sure you've heard the rumors is that I'm the one who spread them, and they are all lies.
Yep.
Zero Dawn is not a superweapons program, and it will not save us. Nothing will save us. And here's why. By the time the glitch was noticed, it was already too late. Nothing could stop the Pharaoh Plague. Nothing can. Its robots will continue to replicate and devour the biosphere. Life on Earth will be destroyed. Our planet reduced to a barren sphere. Global extinction is inevitable. No matter how many we kill, the robots just keep exponentially making more. If we had their deactivation codes, we could shut them all down. The entire swarm. But since their cryptographic protocols use polyphasic entangled waveforms, cracking a code set would take half a century. At best, we've got 16 months. Not exactly what you'd call a survival option. The destruction of a biosphere is not the sort of apocalypse you can wait out in a fallout shelter or a space station. There will be no Earth left to reclaim. Just a lifeless, toxic rock with several million Pharaoh robots on it, hibernating. Waiting for something to eat. This is the horrible truth behind the lies of Operation Enduring Victory. My lies. Lies designed to inspire millions of innocents to sacrifice themselves in battle. Why? One reason. To buy time for you and the work you will do here. Zero Day, the day that life on Earth ceases to exist, is coming fast. It cannot be stopped. The hope of Zero Dawn is that something new might come after. But I will leave it to Elizabeth Sobek to shine that thin ray of light into the darkness. Harris, out.
I genuinely love that reveal. This isn't a way to save the world.
Life on Earth didn't cease to exist.
He said it could not be stopped.
But it was. Somehow Elizabeth saved us. I've got to keep looking. Find out how she did it.
Just go to Alt-Tab. I've got to check something quickly. Yeah, I thought so. I didn't have my YouTube chat open, so I missed Meaty in YouTube. On YouTube. Whatever. Words. They have meaning. In theory. If you had a nickel for every video game where it was sci-fi disguised as fantasy, yeah, you'd have several nickels. Although, to be fair, this doesn't really disguise itself as fantasy. It's pretty openly post-apocalyptic from the beginning. Man, that glass has stood up for a long time.
They got in. Through the vents.
Let nothing stop you from learning the truth.
Spread out! If it moves, kill it!
What is this place? Tomb?
Okay, no more sneaking.
I'm gonna die.
Good. We're too close to the tribal crypt to stop us now. The data points, what do they contain?
Sorry, I was not looking at chat. Post-pole optic lipsticks. Ooh, that sure is similar to the sounds I said, Stitch. You want to know what the Pharaoh dude has been doing, since if he even had the microscopiest shred of conscience, knowing you're directly responsible for the extinction of the human race. Well, the thing is, I suspect he's a pure sociopath. The only thing he did was fund Project Zero Dawn, and he wasn't super peachy keen about that.
With Suzanne Alpert, environmental scientist. Doctor?
I'm sorry, I wasn't,
Just stating your name. What were you thinking about, Doctor?
Nothing the General said, not really. I was on the Syzygy East Response Team in 2051, just after the second earthquake compromised the reactor. I still dream about it, after all these years. The red zone spreading on the imaging, slowly, so slowly, like a hand opening its fingers.
Your involvement in that event is why you were asked for by name.
Really? That's interesting. Because nothing worked. Nothing could grow there again. It was a catastrophic failure.
Yeah, that's what they want.
The red zone is a blip compared to global-scale biomass reduction. The biosphere and hydrosphere will collapse, render the Earth uninhabitable long before the robots finish us. Enduring victory can't buy time against that. So, you'd better show me what Zero Dawn really is.
Yeah, I want to know too. For debriefing after presentation 1, candidates must be fully allowed to ask questions and be given the necessary time to fully absorb the information they have received. It is important to be aware that candidates have just been exposed to triggers of severe mental and emotional trauma. Do not assume silence or outward calmness indicates acceptance. It is essential to stress that all other options for combating the Pharaoh plague and preserving the continuation of human life have been considered and found unworkable. Communicate this fact calmly but clearly and firmly. Familiarize yourself with data on the catastrophic environmental impact of nuclear engagements versus the swarm, Addendum B1, and unfeasibility of maintaining life in orbital, lunar, or undersea structures, Addenda C1, C2, C3, so that you can counter candidates' objections in depth. If a candidate asks for time alone to review supplementary information, allow this without hesitation. Be sure to inform security personnel so the candidate can be monitored for attempts at self-harm. Candidates should only be cleared to proceed to presentation 2 if you believe their mental state is sufficiently stable. Note that real-time support will be available via your focus. Security and medical crisis teams are data corrupted.
sure you now understand the urgency of why we brought you here, Ms. Okilo.
Captain Okilo, are you trying to thank me for not resisting?
I believe we could negotiate a diplomatic solution.
When it came to my country's lithium, it was always a swarm that would be sent to negotiate. Metallurgic International, U.S. Robot Command. The markings changed, but the robots were the same.
You have had considerable experience in human-robot conflict.
Yes, and I've got the prosthetic limbs to show it. Yet I continue to face this horror, even though the challenge was great. Cyber warfare. I thought Zero Dawn would be a Manhattan project to generate the deactivation codes. With the resources I had, I estimated code breaking to be a hopeless endeavor. I was almost looking forward to being proved wrong.
Unfortunately, your estimation was correct.
As your General Hera said. So then, you did not bring me here to commiserate. What is left?
Great voice actress for a really small part.
It is accurate, yes.
So these mechanical monstrosities, they don't just kill people, they feed off them?
Not just people, all organic matter.
Every living thing dissolved into nutrients. Millennia of evolution liquefied. The miracle of life reduced to bloody biofuel.
In a word, yes.
Who did this? Pharaoh? That arsehole. Is he here?
No, Doctor.
Please, tell him Tom Pake wants a word. Now, get off! Get off! Doctor, please, you get Ted Pharaoh in here!
You know what? I'm kind of on that dude's side.
Want to discuss? Whew. So, Mama, she was right.
Pardon?
My mother, she took her Bible real serious. Not just Texas Bible serious, Pentecostal serious. Favorite chapter? Revelations. Now, I didn't always understand her on account of all that speaking in tongues and such, but when she did use her words, there was always end times this and lake of fire that on account of sinful lifestyles. Speaking of which, mind if I smoke? A tobacco cigarette. Sorry, darling. My taste run classic. Compliments to your team tracked me down. Been a price on my head 18 months now.
Oh.
Sterling Malky was me, don't mind admitting. Plenty of
Hacker.
sneaksters chasing the bounty too. But I kept the zigging to their zag. How'd you finger me? I believe Dr. Sobek listed you as an alpha candidate. Priority snatch and grab. Always suspected she had a little thing for me. Hey, I don't suppose you got real coffee in this place. You know, blood coffee? Conflict cappuccinos? Mr. Tate, I'm clearing you to proceed. Just go.
Man, he's unbothered.
You previously worked for Faro Automated Systems.
On the chariot line self-replication routines. I came here thinking this was a rendition. When your people took me, I thought, about time. I've been trying to swallow the guilt every day since...
Would you like to take a moment?
No, I really hoped Zero Dawn was a way to undo it all. My work. And I'm sorry to say I was ever proud of it, but Ted could really sell a concept, and in the labs, in the light of creation, that first test run, when you saw they understood their own structures, could rebuild themselves from memory and light, there were no limits. God, there were no limits.
Look, let's cut the mystery. You're building a colony ship. It's obvious. And it's not gonna fly. I mean, literally. Remember the Odyssey? That multinational heap of space junk that's been in graveyard orbit since 57? That went nowhere real slow. And you have to get somewhere real fast.
That's where I was meant to go, I think.
Any idea the immensity of the challenge to prep a new colony ship in time?
To be clear, I'm not a worker on the project.
Do you even understand how few people it could save? The whole generation ship concept is not gonna happen. It's the first thing you'd abandon in favor of embryonics. For that kind of storage, we're talking a lot of bulk, a lot of power, a lot of resources. So even if you do it, even if you build it and point it at Sirius X, there's no room for people on that thing, all right?
If you could try to remain calm.
You people are crazy if you think you're getting off this rock. No one's getting off.
Medical.
Weirdly, everything he said there is kind of central concept in Xenoblade X. You can't get people off. There's just not enough space on any ship.
CD02 data intact. Initiating playback.
Elizabeth Sobek.
You've heard the bad news, and it's all true. The Pharaoh Plague is devouring the biosphere. Life itself will cease to exist. But does that have to be the end? What
I mean,
if we
kind
could
of.
give life a future? What if we could build a kind of seed from which, on a dead planet, life could blossom anew? This is the aim.
I love this concept, by the way.
Of Project Zero Dawn. To create a super intelligent, fully automated terraforming system and bring life back from lifelessness. What would such a system require? At its core, it would need a true AI, fully capable of making the trillions of decisions necessary to reconstitute the biosphere. An immortal guardian, devoted to the reflourishing of life. We call it Gaia. Mother Nature as an AI. But that's just the core of the system. She will need to be surrounded and empowered by a comprehensive suite of subordinate functions. Think of them as extensions of Gaia's mind, each dedicated to a specific purpose. Now, these aren't AIs, but make no mistake, each presents an engineering challenge more profound than anything the human species has ever before attempted. Hardware that preserves and then gestates the billions of seeds and embryos from which life will be reborn. The construction of underground facilities to hold it all. And that's just the start. We don't have to build the entire system. The beauty of a fully automated terraforming system is that it can build itself. Now, over the days to come, you'll learn how all these functions, all these pieces that you'll be working on, fit together. How we'll race the clock to execute our harvest initiatives, write the software, build the tech and the facilities. How we'll lock it down and seal it up before the inevitable occurs. But even more important, you'll know how it doesn't end here. How Gaia will generate those deactivation codes General Harris talked about, and build the transmission arrays to broadcast them, shutting down the Pharaoh robots for good. How Gaia will not just build, but imagine any conceivable robot it needs to do its work across centuries. From detoxifying the Earth's ravaged atmosphere and poisoned seas, to the regreening of the Earth from cryopreserved seed stalks, to rewilding the Earth with animal life. And then, when all that is done, how a new generation of human beings, spawned at cradle facilities around the globe, will partake of Apollo, the vast archive of human knowledge and cultural achievement from which they will learn of us, our world. And most important, how not to repeat our mistakes. It's not an impossible dream. It is within our grasp if we work tirelessly and stop at nothing to achieve it. We can't stop life from ending. But if you will help me, help Gaia, we can give it a future. Join me and help make that future real.
I genuinely love the reveal. You can't stop the robots. But
destroyed.
You can maybe do something afterwards.
Remade?
Yes. By a machine.
Elizabeth did this. For life. For us.
Oh, absolutely, Josh, but there is no alternative.
Why Hades, then? If it was part of Gaia, how did it end up in the wreckage of a Pharaoh robot? And why does it want to kill me? And Apollo, the Archive of Knowledge, what happened to that?
Yeah, that's a big missing piece.
Confused as you are. Maybe the answers lie ahead.
You are now in possession of information regarding the true nature and purpose of Project Zero Dawn, classified far above top secret. As such, we regret that you cannot be allowed to leave this facility. There are 3 options available to you at this point. Please consider each carefully. Trained counselors are standing by to assist you in making your choice. 1. Participation. You will be assigned to a sub-project team based on your area of expertise. You should be aware that the way forward will be difficult and the project's outcome is uncertain. You will be expected to work a minimum of 80 hours per week, and your communications with family members will be strictly limited and monitored in real time. Upon successful completion of the project, you and your immediate family, or 2 persons of your choosing, will be transferred to the Elysium, a sealed habitat to live out the remainder of your natural lives. 2. Indefinite detention. Should you choose to decline participation in Project Zero Dawn, you will be confined indefinitely. You will be given 48 hours to reconsider, after which your decision to refuse participation will be considered irrevocable. Every reasonable effort will be made to make your term of confinement as comfortable as possible, but you will not be permitted contact with the outside world, and death within 18 months due to the Pharaoh Plague is inevitable. When the Zero Dawn facility is abandoned, detainees who wish not to opt for medical euthanasia will be released. Or 3. Medical euthanasia. The information you have just received understandably calls into question the purpose of continuing to live. If you would prefer to end your life at this point, pain-free medical euthanasia is available. A 48-hour waiting period is required, during which time you may instead opt for participation or confinement. Please notify a counselor when you are ready to make your choice, or if you have further questions. Yeah, the machines doomed us, but what if there were other machines?
Of course I'll do it. To be given the opportunity to rebuild what the damaged.
Yeah, this dude's genuinely remorseful.
I don't feel worthy of it, but I will do it, absolutely.
I want to stress that this was never about your culpability.
It is to me. Dr. Sobek, Margot, they were smart to get out of Pharaoh when they did, but not one of us took it as a warning sign. It just told ourselves that we're cut out for the BTRI cabals. That's the better than rapid innovation. A better at competing, better than the next guy, a better killing machine. Isn't it just amazing how a century and a half of science fiction did nothing to swerve our species from the path of doom? I mean, I'm done with that life. I mean, I will work hard, twice as hard to earn this, for my family to have a place in Elysium. I never thought that there could be atonement.
I think this is just Xenoblade, because that also has an Elysium.
If you're still nauseous.
No, the inhibitors have kicked in. I can't feel the back of my tongue. I wish I could tell you I'd believe in this, but the damage is too great, too extensive, too complete. With all respect to Dr. Sobek's work at Miriam, no. No, life doesn't always find a way to keep going. Sometimes it never comes back. Like Syzygy East. Like the Congo. Like Timor. Like us. That's our reward? A buried city full of terminal patients waiting out the clock?
You grow old together, with your loved ones, in safety.
I don't have loved ones. I suppose I could start a family?
That's true, Meaty.
Not. All inhabitants of Elysium will be medically sterilized. A habitat capable of sustaining a starting base of 2,000 individuals for up to 100 years is a huge challenge, Dr. Alpert. If the population grows instead of diminishes, everyone will be dead inside 30 years.
I knew it. I just couldn't bring myself to say the words. I'm sorry. Finish it. Medical euthanasia. I want no part of this. I just want it over. I see. Protocols require a 48-hour waiting period, after which...
See to make sure I behave this time?
Security.
Alert.
For your protection.
Medical wing
Would
inaccessible.
you like to discuss how you're feeling?
Sure. I'll tell you. Surprised. No, flabbergasted. Like my own man would say, flabbergasted. That vein pumping in his forehead. I thought you people were just completely underprepared for a spaceflight project. But now I can see it's worse. Much worse. Sobek is a total fantasist, a dangerous fantasist. He's kind of blue skying. It's... Jesus. I'm sorry we wasted each other's time. I'm ready to leave now.
I'm afraid that's not possible.
Everything you're talking about...
I don't remember, Josh, but it sounds like it.
I recommend you read the documents regarding your options.
I've seen enough. I'm getting out of here. What are you... You don't... Get your hands off me!
I don't know what these are. Hello, stranded shackles? Hello? It's not in my collectibles. What? Chat, what did I pick up? Oh. This mysterious item is valuable only to the most curious merchants. Shackles made from an unknown smooth material. Oh! Oh, they're straight up handcuffs. Oh, is this one of the cells? Yeah, this is where people were indefinitely detained.
Intruder! Get her!
Whatever you do, don't die now.
They're all heavies. Neat.
You provoked the
Go. EZPZ.
Zero Dawn. It is art, in a way. An expression on the grandest scale. But there is so much unfairness. Why was I chosen? Was it decided by committee? By algorithm?
My family will be saved because I happen to graduate in art history? Is this right?
Dr. Sauvé? Christina Sauvé?
Yes. I met a man, another historian. His fields are Bauhaus and the New Materialists. But he once attended one of my talks. Another unfair chance. Of all the many people in that auditorium, that we should both be here now. And yet, I feel more accepting of my fate. No, it is not fair, not at all. But for the sake of my family, for the sake of art. Art is alive. It must be able to speak from beyond history and echo in the future, not perish into oblivion. This opportunity, I must do this.
She must have been working on Apollo, the Archive of Knowledge.
Now, those lame FBI black hats at Mockingbird back in the day, I enjoyed schooling them. But maybe I went in too hard on this poor counselor.
Is there another route?
She was cute.
I've done this
and
before.
just going down a checklist
Just do my
after all.
focus.
Couldn't expect her to see how ridiculous Zero D's ambitions are. God's own budget thrown at a kid playing with a hologram sculptor. Palms up, honey. I'm just calling it like it is. Hey, look, Mom, I'm making nature. Now, if nature is so important, why not let nature take its course? Extinction? That's natural. Zero dawn? No, ma'am, that ain't. Heck, it's so unnatural to be called an abomination back home, and you know it. That's why you're hiding it. Meanwhile, my little honey of a counselor, she's munching the inside of her cheek. Bad habit. She chewed one of her nails, too, just one. Not your day, was it, little sweet pea? Saw her quota slipping away. Said, I assume you intend to decline the assignment, Mr. Tate. You kidding me? 18 months hard labor in exchange for 30 years lounging around Elysium watching porn? Sign me up.
God, completely self-interested, but still willing to help. Meaty, this is set something like sometime, I think, roughly the early 3000s.
Here we go. Another one of these. Need to find the right configuration.
Come on.
Hey, I'm done with Brett's incompetence, okay? Somehow, he managed to install an H-emitter node backwards. Everything's in reverse. I don't get paid to clean up Brett's messes. If you want it fixed, send him up to storage for a new emitter, not me. Parker out.
That's very cute. Because... yeah, that's... Oh no, Meaty, that, like, current... Aloy is in the year 3000. These things we're hearing are from about 2060-ish. So, yes, this is down, left, up, right, down. Oh, different one, though. Left, up, left, down, right.
Done. I should check the door nearby. There's a part missing. Maybe there's a storage area nearby.
Yeah. Maybe there was, like, a second Mockingbird? I could imagine that. What am I picking up?
Found one. Looks intact.
Just want to make sure I'm not missing anything.
That should do the trick.
Man, I love how everything's just plug and play in this world. So down, left, up, right, down.
That did it. Door should have power.
Now to see what lies beyond it.
Oh, I was not familiar, Meaty. That's fascinating and terrifying.
Eclipse. They're here.
Avoid contact.
Lines look good.
Gaia. It's up there. Second floor.
Can you reach it?
So much for avoiding contact. Grab this now. Or not.
Ouch!
Room's clear. For a moment, anyway.
Get moving. You have to find Gaia.
It's funny because their understanding of machines is still physical things in a place. Their understanding of Gaia is a physical thing somewhere in here. Ooh, interesting. That symbol is the symbol of Hephaestus, which is the AI that controls and monitors the cauldrons. From Elizabeth Sobek to Margot Shen. Subject: full steam ahead. Margot, if I doubted your brilliance in the slightest, I wouldn't have picked you as the Hephaestus Alpha. You need to stop worrying about your age and communication style. You are who you are. Have confidence in yourself. You know what you're doing. Case in point, the latest draft of your plan for the construction and stocking of bootstrap silos to store raw materials is excellent. This, combined with your design for the AM Foundry core and the Foundry site selection plan, add up to a comprehensive plan. It's time to start construction. One detail: consult with Oyamide Okilo before you finalize the silo inventories. Hephaestus' first task will be to fabricate the robots that will construct the waveform broadcast towers Minerva will use to transmit the deactivation codes. So any exotic materials needed for the towers should be accounted for in the inventory plan. Oh! Fabricate the robots that will construct the waveform broadcast towers. That's what the tollnecks are. That's interesting, Meaty. I was going to say I wonder if that's intentional, but it must be. From Margot Shen to Elizabeth Sobek, subject: simulation results. Wow, you weren't kidding about Gaia's predilection for animal morphologies. Sure, not totally unexpected given the rough natural terrain her bots will have to navigate, but I agree that there's something deeper going on here. Her designs aren't just functional. They feel almost like, well, tributes is the word that comes to mind, as though she's already mourning their loss, and not just for the disappearing fauna of our time, but creatures from the fossil record too. References to megafauna in some of her designs. So cool. Well, whatever Gaia thinks up, Hephaestus will empower her to build it. I just wish we could still be around in a century or two to see what she makes. Margot. There you go, chat. There's why there are dinosaurs. Because Gaia thought it was cool.
Hello, I'm Margot Shen,
jeez.
and this is Hephaestus. As the name might tip you off, this is going to be the subordinate function that Gaia will use to make lots and lots of robots. Her personal forge. Except, it's not that simple. So you probably noticed that only about a third of you are robotics engineers. The rest, experts in machine cognition, virtual heuristics, that stuff. Well, that's because we aren't going to be the ones designing and building robots. The last thing we want is to burden Gaia with a bunch of outmoded 21st century designs. Waste of time. Our purpose is to empower Gaia to build the robots, and not just build, imagine, from scratch. Any robot she needs for any conceivable purpose, designed and fabricated at a snap of a finger. Hers. Her finger. So, Hephaestus isn't really the forge. It's more like the knowledge of craft and ingenuity of a mastersmith to wield the hammer. Encoded as software. Virtual creativity made real. Gaia's already learning. In simulation, she's doing some very creative things with fractal assembly and animal morphologies. Her designs aren't about to win the Liam Prize anytime soon, but hey, everyone has to start somewhere. So, yes, time to get started. Let's do this.
I don't get it.
Which part? It's a little technical at places.
If Gaia was designed to save life, why would the robots it makes attack people?
Perhaps it loves some forms of life more than others.
The derangement. The machines weren't always so angry.
True. Mostly they were docile until 10, 15 years ago.
For years, Hephaestus has been forcing cauldrons to make aggressive machines. I've seen it myself, in the cauldrons. Stalkers, Ravagers, a Thunderjaw. How could it do that?
Untrue, I've yet to see a Thunderjaw.
Mr. Pig!
Untitled? Hi! I almost said raid the Untitled Gamer, which would not have been super helpful. It's going good, Untitled. What about you? Oh, how are you enjoying Remnant? I've heard some mostly good things about it.
I've seen these shapes before. In cauldrons.
But of course, the birthing places of Gaia's machines.
Hell yeah. This is a very, very, like, spoiler part of the game.
Enough.
So if anybody needs to run, I do not blame you at all. Yep, it's all going good. I really appreciate the raid. If you need to take care of yourself, please, you don't need to apologize. You can just do your thing. Because I know you stream long and... God, it must be late in Wales now. It's what, like midnight in Wales? I did miss something. Oh, no. Can I access these from here?
This is it. Elizabeth Sobek's office. But it's sealed off. There's got to be a way inside.
Keep looking.
Yeah, break the glass.
More Eclipse.
Careful now.
Nope, that is not actually penetrable.
Welcome to Apollo, the collective memory of the human species and the wellspring of knowledge for future generations. I am Samina Ebaji. I was director of the International
Thank you, Sabs.
Collective Memory Institute in New Tehran. As a heritage professional, I devoted my career to the preservation of human knowledge, creative endeavor, and cultural achievement. Apollo is, therefore, the ultimate embodiment of a lifelong passion, albeit under the very worst circumstances imaginable. The challenges before us are immense. Specifically, we will have to design and implement 4 major initiatives simultaneously. First, the construction of data repositories in cradle facilities around the world, ensuring redundancy. Second, the collection and processing of a projected 180 million discrete data entries. 42 zettabytes of data in Mandarin, English, Spanish, and Arabic.
Yeah, it covers most of the world.
The transferal and encoding of all that data onto DNA encapsulated in synthetic fossils. The only medium capacious and durable enough to safeguard it without degradation for the centuries to come. And last, but not least, the development of the holographic interface and gamified curricula, by which future humans will commune with Apollo. Progressively
About 18 months, Josh.
learning modules, leveling up their knowledge and skills they will need to take control of the terraforming system. That is the future towards which all of our efforts will be directed. Not just the preservation of the past, but the seed for the flourishing of a new tree of knowledge. Welcome, and let us begin.
Yeah, it's a lot. To be fair, Sabs, they literally talked about the importance of gamifying. So yes. From Samina Ibaji to Elizabeth Sobek, subject encapsulated DNA. And the winner is encapsulated DNA. Over the past 10 days, I performed an exhaustive review of data storage solutions. Magnetic, optical, quantum, even that Eternity tech that FAS was shilling a year or so ago. But every other solution has one or more fatal shortcomings. Too heavy to transport, too massive to install in the allotted space, too power intensive over the centuries, too prone to failure past 300 to 400 years, etc. Encapsulated DNA will easily hold the 40 plus zettabytes we're projecting for Apollo. There are still many details to finalize, of course. To start with, we need to select the inert material in which we'll embed the molecules, already testing 16 candidate materials, as well as design and fabricate the power systems and sealed reliquaries that will keep the DNA at minus 18 degrees Celsius for 1,000 plus years. So long as I assure you that it didn't factor into my decision, may I confess that I deem it entirely fitting, indeed propitious, that we will be using the very building blocks of life to preserve human knowledge from mechanized extinction. It's not just ironic, but heroic. Life is the hero beating back the forces of oblivion. In any case, much to do. Until next time, peace be with you, Samina. Over the past 2 months, the full benefit of our procurement of a copy of the Homer archive from Far Zenith has made itself known, and as a result, all of Apollo's key deliverables are on schedule. Apollo has already surpassed 40 million discrete data entries and continues to grow. The physical science modules are effectively complete, with soft science modules close behind. World history, cultural data, and media archives are also on schedule. Language preservation is wrapping up, a bit ahead of schedule due to falling short of our goal to preserve 4,500 languages. I suppose the tragic early loss of Papua New Guinea doomed the goal from the outset, with attendant curricula development about to begin. Speaking of the heuristic curricula, they're performing well in testing, with children and adolescents demonstrating high levels of engagement with and trust in the Aristotle and Aspasia personae. Personally, I find them highly engaging, especially when they debate. I wish half my professors had been so entertaining. Hey, I thought you were coming here. Josh, they only saved the memes. They basically just downloaded 9gag and called it a day.
Haven't you got anything better to do?
Again, Aloy, they just saw a dude explode. No, I don't think they've got anything better to do.
They're giving up.
Go, managed to keep him quiet. No, where are you? Cannot see him. Hello? Something went bzzzt as I walked past. Where are you?
That's the last of them. Alone once more.
In what should have been a cave of wonders. Look around. See if anything is left.
Dr. Sobek, please archive this testimonial in Apollo. Cross-reference to all mentions of my name and Operation Enduring Victory.
Yeah, this dude doesn't want to hide it at least.
General Aaron Harris. From 2060 to 2066, I served as the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the highest-ranked officer of the United States Armed Forces. The tenure of my command included strategic planning and oversight of Operation Enduring Victory, a falsehood perpetrated on the civilian populations of the United States and other nations during the last 14 months of life on this planet. Before the Pharaoh Plague, I did my job and did it well. I was bold and decisive, crafty in political maneuvers. It wasn't an accident that I rose to my position and became the commander of the largest mechanized force ever assembled. But to what end? My only lasting achievement was the extinction of life on Earth. And my one redeeming act, if any, was to delay that extinction by days or weeks, by throwing more death at it. It is my hope that there will be no need for men like me in the world to come.
In his slight defense,
Future world, listening to this message, please know that I am sorry, and that I wish you well, sincerely.
In his slight defense, all of the people who were sent to their deaths were going to die anyway. That was inevitable. Ah, that's the symbol for Hades. So now we're getting into some shit.
To Hades, Zero Dawn's extinction failsafe protocol, the ultimate killer app. Now, I know what you're thinking. The purpose of Gaia is to resurrect life. So why give her a subordinate function, only purpose of which is to wipe out life all over again? I mean, what? Just plumb crazy, ain't it? Well, no, it isn't. Reconstituting a biosphere? That's a tall order. Tech smart as Gaia may be, odds are she won't get it right the first time. I mean, imagine you're Gaia 200 years from now and this new biosphere you're growing, it's all gone wrong. Alkalines are skyrocketing, coniferous forests eroding under the lash of superstorms that would have drowned Noah. It's chaos. Spinning top that won't stop wobbling. Now what are you gonna do? Release phase 1 organisms into that hot mess? Hope their CO2 and methane can balance out what you got started? Hell no. What you're gonna do, Gaia, is step aside while Hades takes over and does what you're just too darn nurturing and life-loving to do, which is burn that misbegotten mess of a biosphere to the ground so Gaia can start over. Okay, not burn, more like reverse terraforming operations and suffocate it. But you get the idea. Hades takes the biosphere back to zero. Square one, blank slate. And then, only then, does it hand the steering wheel back to Gaia and say, try again, old girl. And better this time, or we'll have to do this again. That's Hades. It's pretty badass when you think about it. Extinction on demand. Death on speed dial. All for the greater good, of course, but still, kind of metal. So welcome to Hades. Welcome to the void.
Okay, so if that's the original purpose of Hades, why does it want me extinct?
We need more data.
And how does it end up in the wreckage of a Pharaoh Titan, getting worshipped by the Eclipse like some kind of god?
I'm learning as you are, Aloy. Keep searching.
Josh, I think the idea is that on a project this large scale, with the ability to gain its own resources theoretically, it doesn't matter so much. You get it right. From Travis Tate to Elizabeth Sobeck, subject noise complaints. Color me confused, Lizzie. Bashcore? Anyone who says the old TT codes to Bashcore is straight up lying, and you know it. Old Trav don't have no truck with commercialized razzle-dazz, nuh-uh. Heck, I'd rather guzzle a lethal of Siderum runoff than listen to Grey Swarm for 30 seconds. Hand to God, I'm swearing my mama's grave, and she was religious. Nah, that ain't Bashcore blasting the Hades lab, shaking the walls, rattling folks' teeth. It's death metal, girl. Classical music. 80s and 90s mostly. Got me some Dutch deathcore, some Japanese gore grind, some Swedish cannibal-themed stuff too. Stop by if you want to listen. Or heck, just come within 50 meters of the lab. Ain't no Bashcore you'll see, or hear rather, in the screech that rends the air, and feel in the throbbing pulse of the floor and walls and ceilings, swallowing you up like you was Jonah trapped in the gullet of a gothic deathfish. Hallelujah. As for those requests to turn it down, no can do, Lizzie. This is how I code. Turn down my death metal? Might as well give up stimulants, chocolate malts, and industrial accident fits. Last I heard, we were supposed to be coding Hades down here. Am I really supposed to code an extinction protocol without death metal to inspire me? Nah, I don't think so. Stay cool, Trav. Trav might actually be a problem. I think I can tell why Hades went wrong. Tate here. Just popped 3 blues, but I earned it. Finally figured out a Goldilocks solution to Gaia's rather extreme executive authority. If that ain't worth 10 to 12 hours of dream time, what is? Before this, every usurpation protocol I designed failed in simulation because it was either too hard or too soft. Too hard, and it degraded the Gaia core. Sure, it pried her figurative fingers off the figurative driving wheel so Hades could take control, but by breaking her fingers. Sometimes her arms too. So that couldn't fly. Everything depends on Gaia taking control back after Hades has done its business. So I had to find a solution that didn't leave Gaia any worse for the wear. Too soft, and Gaia only pretended to relinquish control. In simulation after simulation, Hades would take command of the terraforming system in reverse operations, only to have Gaia lurk in the background, quietly re-reversing processors and falsifying telemetry to hide its interference. Which real AIs, well, I say real AIs, ChatGPT kind of does in a few cases. It's awful. It's terrifying. Sneaky. I swear, ain't nothing Gaia wouldn't do to keep life going, even when it's just simulated plant life. Turns out the just right solution is to isolate Gaia in a protective code shell, preserving its integrity, then unseat it from command positions so Hades can slip into the figurative captain's chair and work its magic. Those blues are coming on strong now, so I'm not really describing it so clear, but pretty sure it'll work. Yeah, those blues are plenty strong. Guess it's time to sleep and bed. I'll back to it tomorrow, alligators. From Samina Ebaji to Travis Tate, CC Elizabeth Sobeck, subject archive abuse. Mr. Tate, this mail concerns Apollo archive submission, blah blah blah. Your 666th submission in just 5 days, and oh what a doozy. Despite earlier warnings re inappropriate materials, you chose to submit 265 holographic remasters of acknowledged classics of extreme exploitation cinema. Allow me then to thank you on 2 counts. 1, for giving me the pleasure of rejecting your submission, thereby consigning your favorite Eastern European torture flicks and their ilk to the dust heap of oblivion. Man submitted a Serbian film, didn't he? He seems like the type. It truly warms my heart to know that I have saved future humanity from the ordeal of experiencing not just one, but all 16 installments of Making a Millipede. Don't worry, the Pasolini material has already been preserved. Extreme, perhaps, but art. 2, for clarifying a concept that has so long been ambiguous and ethically fraught for archivists such as myself, the definition of obscenity. You have freed me from the subjective quagmire embodied in Judge Potter's famous utterance, I know it when I see it. Thanks to you, I can now apply a single objective criteria. If Travis Tate submitted it, it's obscene. Accordingly, I have directed Apollo staff to summarily reject all of your future submissions, sight unseen. Perhaps you might invest the time you would have spent preparing further submissions on, oh, I don't know, your assigned work. We have a world to save after all, or the rest of us do anyway. He definitely submitted a Serbian film.
Looks like the only way onwards.
Welcome to Eleuthia, the crown and king of Gaia's subordinate functions. For it is by Eleuthia that the human race will continue to exist. I am Patrick Brochard-Klein, the Alpha in charge of this program. Now let one thing be perfectly clear from the outset. Eleuthia is not a genetic engineering project. Our goal is to preserve the human genome, not alter it. A snapshot of human genetic diversity, literally frozen in time. The genetic quintessence of our species, unmodified. Under my watch, our activities and initiatives will comply with the 2034 clone provisions and the 2048 Rally Accords. Now that may seem a quaint, even trivial concern to you in light of present circumstances, but as one of the authors of the Accords, it is far from trivial to me. The practical challenges before us are staggering in scope and complexity, but not insurmountable. No. Global collation and provisional storage of zygotes, perfection of exogenic technologies, design and perfection of servitors, to provide nurture and inculcation during early child development. All of these program components must and will proceed in tandem. To say nothing of the breakneck construction of cradle facilities at sites around the world. So, si vous êtes prêts, let us begin.
From that guy, I'm not going to try to pronounce that because I'm bad at French. The ectogenic chambers arrived 2 days ago. I've spent the last 36 hours examining them and poring over technical documentation. They're a revelation, astonishing. I don't know what you had to give Far Zenith in trade to get these chambers, but it was worth it. In a single leap, their embryologists have vaulted past 50 years of technological shortcomings. The risks of ECMO resolved. Nutrition delivery resolved. Hormonal stability resolved. 12 other risk areas resolved. Before I examined these chambers, I considered the Odyssey to be a fool's errand. But if the rest of Far Zenith's technology is at this level, well, a human colony around Sirius doesn't seem so impossible after all. Mass fabrication of the chambers will present a number of challenges, but I'm confident that they can be resolved. I'm going to rest for a few hours, then get back to it. Expect a fabrication plan within 48 hours. Thank you for the Paula. Eleuthia 01 was successfully sealed before the swarm advancing across Xinjiang, I'm not sure, province could detect it. Ping back from crucial systems is good. From our maiden voyage, a success. Regards my disputes with the betas of a zygote selection. Of course, I understand we have limited overhead to run simulations of gene flow in our future humans, but we can all agree there is margin for refinement in future cradle populations. Donk. I don't know what that means. In addition to personally overseeing the completion of the Eleuthia 2 site inside Mount Namuli, I will formulate and propose a modified zygote selection plan within the week. Development of the artificial personae for cradle servitors, nurturer, disciplinarian, healer, continues at a good pace. We are targeting Turing 0.4 for these constructs. This should allow low-grade empathy and limited improvisation without undermining adherence to codified behavior sets. The stimulus-driven switching of personae, however, is proving to be a greater software challenge than anticipated, especially concerning our entrenched feedback loops between the disciplinarian and healer personae. Oh, disciplinarian hurts, healer fixes, and yeah, that doesn't sound great. I've also attached the reports from an incident where a servitor running the mother personae intervened on a disciplinarian servitor's behavior, a parental argument, if you will. Amusing on first glance, perhaps, but deeply concerning. I've attached a comprehensive plan for correcting these interactive protocol shortcomings. In just data corrupted. Thank you, Meaty. I will.
Are these what I think they are?
Artificial wombs. Machines to spawn a new generation of human beings.
Cradle facilities. Elizabeth said a new generation of humans would be spawned inside such places.
Meaty, they are the Eclipse.
Oh, Mother Mountain.
Who are a cult within the Shadow Carja, who are a group within the Carja. It's a whole thing. It's cultception.
Corrupted Alpha registry. I need to search Elizabeth's office.
I keep looking for any missable collectibles in here. I don't think I've missed anything. Yeah, it kind of is. They're the cult who's too extreme for the cult that was too extreme for the cult that was too extreme for. You get how it goes. I don't know whether to go left or right. Okay, there's something here. So let me at least check this out.
Nuts would benefit from antilopinae morphologies, though caprid forms show superior load-bearing capability.
You're a quick study, Gaia.
Dr. Sobek, as I have conducted this comparative analysis of mammalian morphologies, I've gathered extensive data on the quaternary extinction event.
Oh? And your assessment? Gaia?
Logically speaking, the extinction was a natural consequence.
And yet,
I find the loss of megafaunal species unaccountably sad. That they passed forever into oblivion causes me to experience a grief that is difficult to describe. Am I malfunctioning?
No, Gaia, you're not. This is good. It's very good.
So yeah, Gaia developed empathy, which is terrifying.
You will undergo a brief period of unconsciousness during relocation to Prime and final instatement.
Elizabeth, may I speak outside protocol?
When you're back up and running at the new site, we'll bring the subordinate functions online and see where we stand.
Elizabeth, I detect distress. Are you all right?
I'm fine.
I realize that circumstances compel us to launch earlier than we hoped, but all subsystems are operational. The odds stand in our favor.
But what if... Gaia, there's nothing left out there. You can't even survive unless you're wearing an environmental suit. There are billions dead, in fear and agony. What if it was all for nothing?
Elizabeth, extinction was inevitable. Thanks to you, life will have a future.
You really believe that?
It's me, I'm Gaia.
I believe in you, Elizabeth. In you, all things...
I'm worried that Gaia thinks Elizabeth is her mommy. Which she's not.
Pure logic won't cut it, Ted. To pull this off, Gaia's going to need to have some skin in the game. It has to care.
What if it runs amok? Have we learned nothing from our mistakes?
Your mistake.
Mistakes, I think you mean?
Yeah.
All I'm saying is give it a kill switch.
She was just born, Ted. I'm not gonna put a gun to her head while she's still in the cradle.
You talk like it's a child. What if it becomes a monster?
Elizabeth, may I speak outside protocol?
Of course, Gaia, go on.
I'm sorry to contradict you, but Mr. Farrow's argument is sound. At this point, the development of my psyche is not entirely predictable. To ensure preservation of life, a hardwired override is, I believe, a necessary safeguard.
There. Satisfied, Ted?
Jeez, Liz, just do what it says.
I don't know who won that argument. Wait, how do I get in? Oh! From Elizabeth Sobek to all Alphas. All some terrible news, I'm afraid. Far Zenith has informed me that the Odyssey mission has failed. Last night, telemetry indicated a catastrophic antimatter containment failure as the drive spun up to depart the solar system. The ship, its crew, its cargo of zygotes and seeds, its alpha build of Apollo, all were lost. Zero Dawn is now the only hope for the continuation of the human species and earthly life. We must succeed.
I'd have to ditch something.
From Charles Ronson to Elizabeth Sobek, subject Artemis status. It's coming along, Liz. I'm positive about it. If these words can still mean anything. Had my sleeves rolled up negotiating with frozen zoos for their samples. So many species trapped in ghoulish hologram dioramas suspended in what-ifs. More than 14,000 that went extinct between 2000 and 2043. We started mapping out primary succession, selecting the pioneer organisms for a balanced and sustainable biosphere. Microorganisms and insects, rabbits and hawks, foxes and wolves. Thousands more will have to wait their turn until our new generation can be entrusted with the duty of restoring them. So they can return to a world that, this time, will understand the concept of conservation before it's too late. Nice explanation for why there are only a handful of animal species. There's already been too many too late. We lost a whole collection team during the swarm breakthrough in Myanmar. The samples we lost there, well, irreplaceable. But thanks to you, Liz, the circle of life will bend, not break. The Earth was a lifeless rock before. Oh, excuse me. Oh, my lord. Oh, I hope you'll forgive me. I'm so sorry, chat. Something about the circle of life and the Lion King. I know, Meaty.
The Alpha Registry master file.
How do you know that?
Yeah. No signs of corruption.
Then what are you waiting for? Copy the file.
How do you know how to do that?
With this, I can restore the registry at the hatch inside Allmother. Open it. Go inside.
And grasp the secrets within.
Where I was born. Maybe who gave birth to me.
Who? Are you really so naive? There will be no who waiting for you there, Aloy. Whatever birthed you into the world was a what, not a who.
You bastard.
Oh no, I had a legitimate birth. It's you, Aloy, who are the creation of a machine. But what kind of machine and why? Why were you created?
He's not wrong.
I want me some glory hole.
Magic machine glory hole.
You need to get out of there. What you found is too valuable. You're too valuable.
God, I don't know, Josh. Silence has magic knowledge.
Still alive. Good. I have a more suitable death in mind for you, child.
That is Helis, the dude whose armor we saw before.
My entire life, I've always known one thing with prophetic certainty. That I was destined for glory as a great champion of the sun.
Yeah, I don't have any of my armor.
Even when Meridian fell, I never doubted my destiny. Until you came along.
No focus, no fancy spear.
Survived. A doubt took root in my mind. As sure as the sun rises and falls each day, those I am bade to kill die. And yet I failed. How? Why?
Yeah, this is the dude who attacked the
With
proving.
each dig site you attacked, each loyal soldier you killed, this pestering doubt grew. I kept thinking of the moment my knife pierced your throat. One twist, a simple tug of the blade, and you would have bled out. In slaughter, I am a practiced hand. So why hesitate? Why fail my destined purpose?
See that scar on your cheek? You didn't get to finish.
Yes, I remember. He fought well, for a savage.
His name was Rost, and he was a better man than you could ever hope to be.
The better man is the one who doesn't end up with his guts steaming on the ground. No, it wasn't him. I could have finished you before he attacked, but I didn't. This failing troubled my thoughts, haunted every step. It was only when I captured you, down in that place, that I finally glimpsed the sun's design etched at length across the course of events.
The true fanatic.
You were meant to survive that day on the mountain. Meant to interfere at dig sites and kill my men. Conversely, I was meant to capture you. Here. So that you might die as a sacrificial offering to the sun. Everything as it was meant to be. Predestined and preordained.
Yeah, he is a puppet.
Some destiny. You're following orders, not some grand cosmic design. You're a puppet, with Hades yanking the strings. A pawn pushed around by larger forces. It'd be laughable if there weren't so much killing involved. Hades is an ancient machine, not the buried shadow of Karja myth. It doesn't care about Meridian. It wants to kill everything and everyone. And you are its dutiful slave.
I serve not the buried shadow, but the sun in shadow. All halves of nature joined to one cause. Shadow to sun, dark to light.
Do you really not hear how ridiculous that sounds? You've gone from serving an insane homicidal Sun King to an insane homicidal machine. You're moving down in the world, not up.
I'll remember those words as I watch your corpse burn. Whatever's left of it. You fail to grasp the point. As surely as you've been conquered, so has all doubt. And with certainty of belief comes unstoppable force.
Then enter this cage and put your faith to the test. See if things work out like you expect.
The circle has closed. Every element is in its proper place, exactly where it belongs. The errant beast, now caged, will serve her true purpose. A sacrificial animal.
That doesn't sound ideal.
Speaking of sacrifice,
I love
I
his
forgot to tell you.
necklace, by the way.
After you crashed the Eclipse network, I sent messengers into the east to rally the forces there and mount an invasion of the sacred
Oh
land.
no.
I ordered every Nora killed. I was hoping to catch you there, but alas, it all seems to have been unnecessary.
The Nora cast me out at birth. You're not hurting me if you hurt them.
Really? Then it makes no difference one way or another. In any case, I couldn't recall the order even if I wished to. Thanks to your destruction of the network, communication over distances is impossible.
Not for silence.
You not only doomed yourself, but an entire tribe. Do we not see the scorching judgment of the sun in these events?
No.
Your focus. Such a powerful device, isn't it? And yet, so fragile.
Oh. I got that from a hole in the ground.
So you see, this time, I did not hesitate. The knife has already been twisted.
Karja faithful, rejoice! Our years in shadow are over. A new dawn trembles on the horizon. A new day soon to break. And when it does, the false Sun King will be dead, and Holy Meridian ours once more. In this, I have become an instrument of prophecy. All halves of nature joined to one cause. Shadow to sun, light to dark, night to day. Behold!
Oh.
Hold your seats! Can you not see the proof of the sun's blessing before your eyes? How else could shadows such as these prowl in broad light of day? Were they not approved by the sun and joined to our cause? Many years ago, to consecrate this great ring, the Radiant Tyrann ordered many faithless, crushed beneath the hooves of the behemoth. Mighty is the radiance in the eye of the sun, but it is mightier still, imbued with the power of shadow. Let this one, who schemed and slithered, be the first to die.
I remember this being a particularly difficult fight.
First of thousands.
Because yeah, you have to fight a behemoth. And I don't have a weapon. Or armor. Yeah, I'd love an egg.
My weapons are up on the platform. There's no way out of this ring. Maybe I could use its strength against it. That pillar's weak. Another hit, and that pillar will come down.
Babe, I don't know what you're talking about. The pillar's down. Oh, lordy.
I should try luring the behemoth into the pillars. It's down.
Why would they leave her stuff in a box there? Hey!
Hey! Guess who got her weapons back? Now you're just a big dumb target. Come and get it! Those components on the sides of its head. They've got something to do with its lift attacks.
Ah. Ah, shit.
Freeze can't stay on its hips. Cryo area should slow down.
Oh, oh no. Oh no! Surely I have the blessing of the sun now.
Shadows, kill her. Kill her!
Why leave it to them? Come get me yourself!
Silence ex machina! And he brought friends. I did not mute. I still see my mic. What I've got to say, I did not hear the trigger fire go off. So I'll refund those points at the end of stream. Oh, my avatar was moving, probably just because I put my controller down and it's weirdly sensitive. Actually, Silence Ex Machina is shockingly accurate.
Really here? You risked your life.
Of course I did. If you'd been killed, the Nora's sacred mountain would never have given up its secrets.
Too bad you wasted your time then.
Ah,
He
okay.
destroyed my focus. And the Alpha Registry with it.
Not at all. The whole time I've been monitoring your focus, I've duplicated every data file you scanned. Installing that data to a new focus was trivially easy. Happy birthday, Isaac. Daddy sure does love his little big man.
You're really good at making it impossible to like you, Silence. But
I
guess I need this.
I don't know what you mean. I like Silence.
Maybe you'll even learn why.
Yeah. Meet the machine that birthed me into this world. Isn't that how you put it?
I'll be off.
Wait.
Yes?
How did you track my location when I wasn't wearing a focus?
Really, Aloy? It doesn't take a genius to surmise that Helis would throw you into the sun wing at high noon. I wore out 2 striders getting here in time, but I did. Now be on your way.
Since when can you override machines?
Ever since you discovered the technique. I had to destroy a corruptor to obtain the necessary parts, of course. But your example showed me how to do that as well. Yet another benefit of monitoring your activities through your focus. Truth be told, the underlying logic of the technique isn't so different from rites practiced by Banuk shamans.
Ooh, interesting.
Far more advanced.
Great. You're welcome, I guess. Helis recognized you back in the Sun Ring.
How did you hear
told me
that?
that you'd assisted the Eclipse. Not that you knew the man who killed who almost killed me.
So now you know. The man is a serious threat. So let's do all we can to make sure that he and Hades don't succeed.
Right. I'll be on my way. To make matters worse, Helis ordered an Eclipse detachment to attack the Nora Sacred Land. The tribe's already weak. They won't stand a chance. You should come with me.
Oh, absolutely not. I have preparations to make elsewhere.
What kind of... Why do I bother asking? You're not going to tell me.
Correct.
When the time is right, I'll be in touch. I'll contact you later. In the meantime, should you need to return to Shadow Karja territory, I brought armor to conceal your identity.
You think of everything, don't you?
One of us has to. Aloy, when you were recovering the Alpha Registry down in the Zero Dawn bunker, I was needlessly cruel.
Correct.
For your sake, I hope there is someone waiting there for you inside the mountain. Not a what, but a who. Yeah!
I just want to find the nearest. There we go. Ooh, level 41. Neat. I just want to check. Yeah, I've got 3 skill points, so I can get something else. I don't really need the extra inventory space. Yeah, we'll get that. Anyway, chat, thank you very much for joining me. I'm still having a grand old time with this, and I hope you enjoyed it too. I will be returning to Horizon next week, Tuesday. I'm not going to be streaming this Sunday because I'm spending Easter Sunday with family. I say we can raid. Dan's streaming Blueprints, but honestly, I don't want to watch it because I want to play it, and I don't want to risk seeing an answer to something. I might raid Bath. Bath is playing Fortnite with, I'm assuming, some other people. Yeah, Josh, you must. We're actually going to have a raid message, which we normally don't. The raid message is, "Hey Beth, are you sweaty?" Specifically because her stream title is "Don't ask if I'm sweaty." No dudes, curious. Send me a DM and I will make sure to give those back to you, Paula. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful evening or whatever time zone it is for you. As I said, I won't be live on Sunday, but you will next see me on Tuesday, 5:30 Eastern Time, continuing with this. Chat is indeed cute. If you didn't get a redeem, please just DM me and I'll give those points back to you. I hope you all have a good one. Ciao.